So, you're keen to apply for Global Experience for credit towards your UQ degree. Great! Well, it's likely that you've come across the term progression check. Now, a progression check is a way to ensure you're progressing through your UQ program correctly, and this is a great tool to see how a Global Experience is going to fit into your degree. Knowing your program rules and requirements and completing a progression check yourself will help you to prepare for the Global Experience, and this video will help you step through that process. First things first, get yourself a copy of your studies report from MySciNet. Log into MySciNet and select Enrollments. From the top left-hand side menu, select the option Studies Report. Follow the prompts to see it in Print View. You should end up with something that looks a bit like this. This is of course an example only, as each student's studies report will be as unique as they are. Save your own studies report to your device and we'll come back to it later. Next, go to MyUQ and search the programs and course site by clicking on the HASS faculty under the heading Browse by Faculty. You should be aware that rules and requirements can change depending on the year that you commenced your program. You can select the appropriate year by using the drop-down box on the top right of the screen. Once you have the right year of commencement selected, find your program from the list. We're going to use a BA with a Spanish language major as an example in this presentation. Please remember that each language major is a little bit different and requirements can differ depending on your level of proficiency. But the same process that we go through today applies to whatever language major and level you're in. Once you've found your program, scroll down to find the program rules underneath the main text or by going through the Courses and Requirements tab on the left. Please read carefully through the rules and requirements of your program to ensure that you have a good understanding of exactly what you need to study to graduate on time. For example, do you need to select a major? Just one or two? Is there an advanced level requirement? Do you have any electives available? If you commenced your program before 2021, the program rules and some of the terminology may look quite different for you, so please seek advice from the faculty if you have any questions at all. Once you have a good understanding of your UQ program requirements, you can move to the next step. Back on your program webpage, click on Courses and Requirements, which will open the full course list. With the full course list open, it is now time to compare your studies report with the course list and tick off the courses you have already completed. Here is an example to demonstrate. This part of the studies report shows that 3 compulsory courses have been completed. Compulsory courses may also be known in some study areas as core courses, the courses you have to complete to be able to graduate with your specific degree and majors. They are non-negotiable courses. In this example, the compulsory courses are found within the majors. Each language major has different requirements in regards to compulsory and elective courses, depending on what level you start at, so please make sure that you are following the rules set out for your particular language level. For language majors, the compulsory courses are predominantly grammar-related courses. Next, 3 of the discipline electives from within the majors have been completed. Discipline electives are courses that are in the course list for your degree or majors, but they are not on the compulsory list. They are usually listed under headings like Complete 4 to 6 units from. When you have room for discipline electives in your program, you get to make a choice about which courses to select from a list that relates back to the main discipline of your major or program. For a language major, these are usually the courses that are more to do with culture and history of a language rather than the grammar. Finally, 2 courses have been completed that are not actually listed in the course list for these majors. The student was able to take these courses because the program rules allow for 16 units of general elective courses. This is the type of credit that allows a student to study courses outside their majors or minors, even outside their school or faculty, according to their own personal interests. If your program rules state that you have electives from Part B and/or Part C and/or other courses, then you should have room for general electives. Once you've finished comparing your own studies report and the program course list, you have identified not only what you have already completed, but most importantly, what you still have available to study as part of your UQ program. Now, When it comes to a global experience for credit, you need to make sure that whatever you do overseas can fit into the credit you still have left in your UQ program. So, what have you found out? What do you have left in your degree? The best possible scenario by far is that you still have some general electives available in your UQ program. General electives are the best courses to use for your global experience as they give you the most flexibility. If you have room for general electives at UQ, you should be able to choose from a huge range of courses at the host university that don't need to match anything UQ teaches. You can really explore all those academic topics that UQ doesn't have any courses dedicated to. We strongly recommend you save any general electives for your time overseas. If you don't have any more room for general electives in your UQ program, then hopefully you will still have some discipline electives left to complete. Discipline electives don't allow you as much flexibility as general electives, but they're still good to use for a global experience. If you want credit for a discipline elective from a global experience, then you will need to find host university courses that are in a similar field of study to your UQ discipline, major or minor, but the host university courses do not have to match any specific UQ courses. They just need to fit into the discipline of study at the right level. Level 1, 2, or 3. This allows you to study courses that are not offered at UQ, but which still belong to the discipline that you are specializing in and allows you to get credit towards your UQ program. If all your general and discipline electives are gone and you are left with all compulsory courses, then things can get a bit more tricky. If this is your situation, you'll need to find courses from your host university that match the content of the UQ compulsory courses at least 80%. You basically have to find the same course taught at a different university. This can be challenging and requires a lot of information from the host university course profile to determine equivalency and can take longer to get approved. When trying to match compulsory courses, you will need to be prepared to do lots of research into the host university courses and have a good backup plan if the courses aren't available when you arrive at the host university. Make sure you check the credit precedent database and check the host university page for any additional info specific to HASS. Now that you know what kind of UQ credit you have available for your exchange, you can start looking for a host university that will offer you the right kinds of courses that match in the appropriate ways. When it comes to language study, it is really important to know if your host university is able to offer you a full-time study load of just language courses or if you need to combine it with study from other disciplines as well. What do you need to meet your UQ program rules and requirements? Each university has different rules around languages, so research your options carefully. Study loads vary between host universities depending on their full-time study load and the credit value of their individual courses. It might be 2 courses each 50% of the full-time study load, or maybe 3 courses typical in the UK, or 5 courses which is typical in the US and Canada, or even 6 or more courses in Europe or Asia. Very rarely will you find that you have to complete exactly 4 courses at your host university to be equivalent to your 8 units of UQ credit to be gained from your exchange. More information on the full-time study loads, how to fill in your study plan, and how to research host university options can be sought from the Internships and Global Experiences team on their website, via an appointment, attending an information session, watching other videos, or you can email them at iget@uq.edu.au with any questions. I can say from experience that exchange has been an incredible part of my time at UQ, and I wish you the very best of luck on this amazing journey, and I hope you have a great time overseas.